I tried going from no experience to surfing big waves in just 6 months. Here's how it went. But first, we have to take it back to the beginning. I'm originally from Michigan, and for as long as I can remember, I had this what felt like a hopeless dream to just surf in general. Long story short, I never lived near an ocean, but baseball ended up bringing me to Hawaii. It took me a year and a half to actually want to surf. If you're learning to surf or you want to learn, this will be a good journey for you to follow. There's a lot you have to overcome before you even get in the water. I was first scared of the ocean, you know, what to do, sharks, everything that comes with actually being in the water. Once my final semester came along, I went with my friends a few times to Waikiki, but I wanted more. I was inspired a lot just by being around the surf culture, watching surf competitions. Certain YouTubers. I had 6 months left and I wanted to skip all the beginning phases. I rode the whitewash for a week. I really just wanted to learn how to shortboard. Everybody was telling me it'll take years. I was hearing everything, which I agree with now that the time's over with. Here is how I did it. It all started at this place they call Kaiser Beach. The point of this video is to show you guys that you too can also go from never surfing in your life to actually riding a shortboard and enjoying yourself in the water. I gotta give credit where it's due. I would not be here without these two people, Owen and Shay. They were my only source of help throughout this journey. I didn't have a surf coach. I didn't have any other help. Yep, that was my first attempt and only thing I came close to.
We just left Sunset because I got kicked out of the beach.
But I had a terrible idea one day that I was gonna go just try to paddle out at Sunset Beach when it was midwinter swells. It was like 10 to 15 feet, but I was just thinking that I was gonna do it like right before the lineup, which is even worse because then you just get trapped. A lifeguard stopped me as soon as I was about to go in the water. I don't know how he knew. Maybe it was because I had water shoes on and I just didn't look like a surfer. Today we're at the lineup at Wai Kai, OAHU. We are practicing our surfing actually. This is when the lineup came into play. I was actually lucky enough to land a deal with them, which allowed me to exponentially grow. I mean, I went from this, you'll see later in the documentary. I usually would go before baseball for about 2 or 3 hours, and let me tell you, most of the time I was just paddling, I was catching no waves. Even though I felt super gumpy, I wanted to learn, and thankfully people like Peter started to help. So we got kicked out of practice today, unfortunately, but you know, we can't waste the day, so we booked a session at the lineup. At first, I wasn't going back every day, but I was going back a lot.
This is Wai Kai Radio.
It was to the point where people were like, "Oh, you're back again?" At this point, I could barely ride small waves. I couldn't turn whatsoever, and I had the worst control problem. I really just wanted to rip, honestly, and turn fast, but that's not what you do at first. At this point, I was starting to doubt myself a lot. I mean, I'm over here trying to hit a big wave, but I can't even turn.
Fake like rappers, fake like jokes, I know.
But I didn't let it get to me though. As cliche as it sounds, I was just determined to do it. However, that was on the smaller wave. The bigger wave is actually harder, and I needed to do it on the big wave for it to actually translate. I was nowhere where I needed to be, and it was frustrating. But thankfully, a lot more time to come at the Wai Kai.
Today, my surfboard actually got stolen.
I kid you not, I set it down for 2 to 3 minutes and walked out of the surf shop and it was gone. I had to rent for a while from this point forward. In response to this act, I got a CARVER off Facebook Marketplace and I brought that thing everywhere. Shout out Jacob, he ended up winning a surfboard in a raffle, I think it was, but it was a perfect 8-foot wavestorm. Just what I needed and just what got stolen. So now I had everything. I had the Wai Kai, 8-foot foamy, and a carver. The only thing that was holding me back was I'm grateful to have met this wizard, people might say, that took me under his wing to the slightest degree and actually made me a better surfer. Shout out Jason Kashiwai. My goal was to get access to the high performance boards, and they wouldn't let me for the longest time until Uncle Jason brought a board for me. The reason nobody would let me use a high performance board is exactly because of this. If you go too far up at the wave pool, you have a risk of ripping the fins out of the fin box. Snap, low key, quit playing. BANZAI skate park is where some of the magic happened. I was logging some serious hours here and being surrounded by many cool and talented people. This especially became a routine when I started surfing the North Shore later on. The first day I got my board, I didn't even think I was gonna be able to stand. The second day, I brought my GoPro and I was super hyped. When I came out of the water, my car just disappeared.
The next available operator.
It's about to pick us up. We're going to the crime scene right now.
Found the spare keys, luckily by the save of God.
I hate to try for my mans, but bro, what the? Ripped out. So I just got real life robbed. Only reason we got saved is OnStar shut off my car and they're probably raging and they just like ripped out all this stuff, all the electronics. Now they have my information, so the cop said that we have to take out the battery because they can track down our address with my information, and then they're just gonna be waiting anytime with the keys. So like even if I'm at Diamond Head surfing again, we're just gonna pull up, take my car, it's gonna be the same situation. We're trying new beaches. I guess God wanted me to get out of the city. Diamond Head, you know, it was a good spot while it lasted. It lasted a few months, but someone over there has my keys. Afraid they're gonna rob me again. Get safer vibes from the North Shore. If we get robbed again, it is what it is, I guess. One of the beaches on the North Shore, known for having smaller waves, was small enough for me to go at this time, but I quickly realized, yeah, I got severe trust issues. I just ran out to the parking lot. 2 to 3 on the North Shore is not the same as it is in town. When I stopped filming for a while and just really locked in on progression, I was hitting some major plateaus and I just had to figure it out. This is when my North Shore journey truly began, and I was transformed because of it. There were a lot of scary moments which were expected as I was aiming for bigger waves. I was always cut up with urchins stuck in my foot. One is actually still stuck. As I was going through a lot of uncomfortable sessions, I took some risks, exactly what I needed to become a little more experienced. I had 2 life-altering moments at Chun's. The first one, I tried going out when it was 5 to 6. 5 to 6 on the North Shore is not the same as in town. At least it seems like it's not the same. The first wave, I timed it up good and I tried to back out last second because the drop was the steepest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was insane. But instead I fell over the falls, nearly drowned it felt. And because I wasn't prepared enough, I got stuck in a bad spot. It was just a nightmare. The second one, just from me not having enough experience in the water, I was getting pulled toward Jocko's and I couldn't stop it. A lifeguard was on his board and came out to me as soon as he could and told me how to escape. He told me to paddle towards the lifeguards and catch a wave in. And the first wave that appeared were these massive sets, and I just went for it. I didn't want to bail like I did last time, so I actually went for it and my nose dug in and I just rolled for what felt like forever. Over time, I was accidentally getting thrown into bigger waves, so I tried to bring my GoPro, but it kept detaching from my board. I still managed to capture a few solid moments until somehow I lost all my North Shore footage. Everything was gone. But even without the footage, the progression was real. I pushed myself to new surf breaks, Chun's, gas chambers, Rockies, even pipe when it was 2 to 3 one day. This was when everything started to click. My paddling got stronger, I could read waves better. I wasn't just surviving anymore, I was actually surfing. Losing the footage, yeah, it stings, but honestly the memories, the growth, and the fact that I showed up every single day, that's the real story, and this is where I truly saw myself level up. Then the summer swells started rolling. My roommate, he wasn't feeling it, as you can tell, but I had to drag him out at least once, both to the beach and the Wai Kai. He was hyping himself up all year, and as much as he wanted to sit it out, I just wasn't letting him. When I finally dropped him off, it hit me. My endless summer was soon coming to an end, but in that moment, I had a full summer ahead of me still.
I really wasn't feeling it today, but it's supposed to be 4 to 5 tomorrow, or it's actually supposed to be 4 to 6. And I need all the reps I can get.
Got a rep out here, no cap. Really like the only crew out here.
Another day. Sunny day today though.
was never a smooth process. Putting myself in front of bigger waves was hard to get over mentally. But the more I put myself in these situations and trying for bigger waves, challenging myself, the more I learned. Of course, that didn't mean I always got it right. I mean, half the time I'd completely get worked under the wave, or I'd just lose it altogether. But more often than not, I'd get a clean duck dive. These little wins are what kept me coming back. The 3 to 4 hour sessions were taking a toll on my body. As you can see, my feet are deleted in this. And I was literally going 7 days a week. I had a few breaks when certain days came up, but I chose to be in the water. I met some amazing people through this journey, in the water, at the surf shop, Wai Kai, even on social media. And when you commit to something, you end up finding a community around it, and that's what made this experience more than I ever thought.
Okay. Perfect stretch right now. Let's go for a noble. I'll give you a view, I'll give you a view. It's like the worst feeling when you think your stuff's gonna get stolen. Gosh. It's like I'm having a great time and then I'm like, wait. Alright, we're in the system. Man, I can't like you like this every day. See some literal barrels, which I will not be in. Is this our safe spot? So I've got it on my log. 5 days left to serve. Maybe I've been on the run. Looks like it's about to start pouring. One last time with Old Reliable. I do not have a bite mount, so I can't take you with me today. I was out till last light, and I gotta say today's session was absolutely crazy. I can't give her up yet. One more day. I have to get some kind of mouth mount or something tomorrow. Supply and demand. I just bought a GoPro mouth mount for like 30 bucks. Just for a few days. I'm kind of nervous it's gonna break my jaw, to be honest. Bro said it's choppy, and some sets are reaching 8 feet.
There are plenty of wipeouts, a rescue, and moments that humbled me, but one thing that changed this whole journey was the rising swell at Chun's. I touched on this earlier. By the time I checked later, I scrolled through the graph, and I didn't check it before. The current time for when I got out showed 10 feet, and I had no business being there, but this was the most terrifying moment of this whole journey. I learned I needed to respect the ocean more and change truly what I was trying to accomplish. When I started, I thought this journey was about chasing big waves. After Chun's, I realized it was about becoming a better surfer, learning how to handle bigger conditions than I ever thought I could, but also knowing where to draw the line. As of now, I won't paddle out if surf line says over 6 feet, in Hawaii especially. I mean, that's the only place I've surfed. I may not have surfed the monster waves I pictured at the start, but what I did gain by being consistent and committing to growing was the ability to say I became a surfer. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope I inspire you to start your surfing journey and maybe just your journey in the ocean in general.
Let's see if Aloha's real. Would you look at that? Aloha is real. Let me show you guys what I do to get down here. Keep the sets, keep the sets. As soon as my GoPro died, I literally was hitting like the best waves of my life. I'll see you guys in Bali.
Yes, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.